Okay, hi class. I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown on Chapter 1. From time to time I like to do this, kind of give a bit of a review of where we are, and Chapter 1 is a good time to take a look at the big picture. We're looking at global economic drivers, which would be, globalization. And in general, I would say that globalization, that train has left the station years before, decades ago, really. Every company in the world, no matter what, has something to do with the global economy. So with that, we've learned that change brings winners and losers, let's say pluses and minuses to some people. There are some winners with globalization and there may be some losers. The idea is that hopefully and usually there are more winners than losers. So this chapter looks through world trade, global linkages. May I say something from the start is the marketing world is a little bit different than international marketing. Some of you might have taken marketing or you're familiar with domestic marketing. Marketing is to create, communicate, and deliver value. It's a communication exercise. What's different about domestic marketing and international marketing? Well, quite a few. What you do with international marketing is you add a number of other players, such as traders, import-export traders, balance of trade, joint ventures, turnkey operations, international managers, international governments, international institutions like the WTO and the World Bank. In the international world, you can have very, very large companies, medium companies, and small to very, very small companies. And all of them in international marketing have to do with differences in culture, laws, customs, and people. So societal change comes about through trade often. And one added factor that we might add to international trade is the ethics that go around that. So let's see. I don't want to go too far into this. Don't want to spend too much time talking about global trade. We could go into the history a little bit, but I'm going to let you guys look at that. Let's see. I know that there are a lot of opportunities that we want to talk about throughout the course. And to conclude, basically, Chapter 1 is that all firms and all individuals are affected by global trade. And change is complicated. Global trade is complicated, and I can tell you that there are quite a few job opportunities out there in the area of global trade. I mentioned the history. A lot of global trade history starts post-World War II. That was when we had two markets, the United States and Europe, and that was the essence, the extent of global trade. And then the rise of OPEC in the 70s added new complexities, and the oil and energy markets globalized. And then the rise of Asian manufacturing, starting with Japan, next Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, and then later on, a few decades later, we had China. And China now is starting to outsource to Vietnam, the Philippines, and Indonesia. So this progression continues as we speak. Corporations globally now are able to take advantage of economies of scale. If you don't know what economies of scale, take a look. It's very important. It's bigger is better. It means that large manufacturers can do better than smaller manufacturers. So with the change of the world, globalization, we have domestic policy changes. So international business has to look at governments and how they operate. It's important. Is it possible for a government to help or hurt a trade situation, a trade position? Absolutely. What are the tools? Those are some of the things that we're starting to look at. So really that's it for this chapter, and we're going to get right into Chapter 2 with more specifics. This is kind of a general overlying chapter. I hope you enjoyed it.